Today I want to give you some ideas to play rhythm and lead over this common chord progression. My name's Rusty and welcome to my worship guitar channel. So looking at this chord progression, C sharp minor, A, E, B. Those are the full chords. We're going to use some fragments of those chords and add some rhythm and lead lines. I'll leave a link for this backing track that I used here in the intro. It's great for practice. Check out some of these ideas. You can call this the key of C sharp minor, but the relative major is E. So you can use these open strings to start with. The B and E strings can ring through these chords. Check this out. So basically using the top three notes of this bar chord here, but doing that for each chord. A, open A, E, and B. It just sounds really alive. It's easier, especially when you start adding some delay and reverb in there, those strings really ring out and you can add a nice thick rhythm in there. Here I was just picking the first three strings down and then up from the E string. And it can vary, but that's just an idea to really use. If you are in the key of E or C sharp minor like this one is, you can use those open strings to your advantage. And a great thing to do is add a chunky rhythm to that same chords there. A great way to practice this is to really have a sense of muting here by resting the palm slightly on the bridge here, and also just mute all these strings for a second to get this groove. I'm actually doing all downstrokes here, not that you don't have to, but this is a great way to get that chunky rhythm. Once you get that down, you add those chords into that. Just throw the chords in there. Most of the time when you're on a worship team, the acoustic really playing a lot of the up and down strokes. And And that is good too, but you cannot be doing the same thing that guy is doing. So these kind of the picky idea and this chunky rhythm is two completely different things, and just adds a nice, it just really fits well with this type of chord progression. And then we can add some repeating lead lines. So I'm really just following the chords, but doing a repeating line. Don't lose track of those chords. Right here, I'm kind of placing my first finger on the 9th fret of the B and E strings, but I start with just hitting on the B string on the 9th fret, and then 12, back to 9, 11, and just alternate. You can use your 4th finger or 3rd finger, whatever's comfortable. I like using my 3rd finger so I feel like it's stronger for me. I'm more confident with it. So again, alternate. So the first part is just this alternating thing. And then the next part of that little phrase I was doing, so 9 on the B string, 12, 9, 12 on the B string. All together. And that last part is when it's going to that B chord. I'm looking at a little B triad here is what I'm really focusing on. 11 on the G, 12 on the B string, 11 on the E strings, this triad. But as the B comes up, you can hit this. So from 12 on the B, you hit 12 on the E string. On 11, you bend a half step up and release. So you're really just trying to hit the E note. Just has a different vibe to it. You can definitely hit this other note. And then walk right down the triad. One more time slow. Really looking at that triad. But all together, you can just play this cycle right through the chords. Another great thing to do is walk up a lead line, starting here on the 9th fret. Just has a sense of melody because I'm thinking about those chords, and it's so important to know your fretboard. Some of you I know struggle with that. Get to know these notes and where they lay with the chords you're using. This first note's a G sharp note. I know that that's part of a C sharp minor chord. But basically I'm thinking about going right up the E major scale on one string. The next chord is A, and I'm hitting an A note here in the 10th fret of the B string. Going up to C sharp, which is another chord tone in that A, which is on 14. Sliding up briefly to 16, and then going to B because now it's on an E chord. So on the 17th fret of the B string is an E note. You can just run right up there, and then one fret down to 16 is the D sharp note, which is in the B chord. And then you can go to a B note because it's on the B chord here in the 12th fret. One more time slow. So I hope you got some rhythm and lead riff ideas from this video. And I use these ideas all the time in the Sunday morning worship, when I'm just playing around the house or with the guys. These ideas are all connected to the chords. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and remember, God is always good.